Alana King, the best leg spinner that Australia have produced since Warne? I mean, it's probably between her and Zampa at this very moment. I'm probably taking Alana King. She finishes with 4 for 45 today. She deserved a 5 for. She deserved a 10 for. She bowled incredibly. I mean, England pretty much fall into a club with a exception of a couple of starts in the middle order. Heather Knight 25, Nat Brunt with 51, Dunkley with 21, Danny White Hodge with 22, and there really wasn't much else in between. 2 wickets for Garth and Brown, 1 for Ash Gardner. And then when it came to Australia's reply, they lost the wicket of Georgia Vole, having a swing out to a Lauren Bell delivery outside off for 12. But then Litchfield and Annabelle Sutherland just dug in, saw it out to the end of the day. The difficult part of a day-night test where you don't want to be batting, they actually navigated it really well. I mean, I think England had to take advantage of that session that they had, and they just didn't. Like, I think you'll have like an hour in the morning to try and take a couple of wickets. If they don't take a couple of wickets tomorrow morning, then they are in deep trouble. I mean, you're looking at Australia women putting on 400-500, and then you're batting to save the game, and that's the only hope that you've got. England continued to be poor. I mean, poor shot selection. I mean, how Eccleston got out when we were, 131 for 6. Then we get 131 for 7. It wasn't great. It just wasn't. I mean, 170 is nowhere near good enough. I mean, and it would have been a lot worse if it wasn't for Nat Sciver-Brunt deciding I'm going to try and put the team on my back and carry him like she has done before. I think the problem with this England team is that they are so reliant on Nat Sciver-Brunt and Eccleston, especially Eccleston, because for some reason Eccleston just hasn't been able to perform against Australia, and that's really where England go wrong. I mean, she bowled a bit in the evening session, 0 for 10, but I mean, that's where you want Filer and Bell to do the damage, and it just didn't happen today. England are really struggling at this point. Getting slightly fed up of making videos about how good Australia is, but I'm going to have to make another one. 654 for 6 declared. They finished the day, their highest ever score in Asia. Khawaja goes to 233. He scores his maiden double century. Steve Smith ends up on 141. Josh Inglis scores 102 off 94 in his very first Test match innings. I mean, you know what they say, strong Yorkshire, strong Australia. It really was late in life that he went to Australia. It was like 15, and it still amazes me that he has quite an English accent. It sounds like that he's trying to fake an Australian accent. It's very bizarre. There's a twang there, but he also sounds like he's from Leeds, that he actually is. But sensational not for him today. He chose Australia, and Australia have got to be happy with him. I mean, I think that he should be in the squad anyway. I think he's top notch. I think he should probably be in there instead of Marnus when it comes to it. Kerry finished 46 not out. Bo Webster put on 23. Wasn't really much else that happened. I mean, Australia just batted and batted and batted. For some reason, Sri Lanka only used 4 bowlers. Jai Surya bowled 60 of them, and Pires bowled 41 of them for no wickets, 0 for 189 with 1 maiden. That's tough. Van der Sey doesn't bowl a maiden for his 38 overs. The quick bowling of Asitha Fernando. I don't understand why they didn't try other options. I mean, a couple of overs from Angelo Matthews, a couple overs from Kamindu Mendes. He can bowl with both arms. I mean, if anything, it's just worth a try. You've been out there for 154 overs. Bowl someone else, please. I mean, I was so impressed with Sri Lanka in the last few series that they've played. And I thought, okay, they're decent bowling attack, good spinner. Couple of that middle order starting to look good. Jesus Christ, have they looked bad in this series so far. And it went over to their batting. They finished 44 for 3. Kuhneman, Stark, Lyon all pick up wickets before the end of play. Australia took more wickets in the first 9.2 overs of this game than Sri Lanka did on the entirety of the first day. They are being smashed. Genuinely smashed. I can only credit Australia and say how bad Sri Lanka have been. Okay, the pitch is doing a bit more now than it was on necessarily day one and like the first half of this day, but it hasn't changed massively. The bounce is still relatively true. There's a bit of spin in it, but there's been spin in it the whole game. Sri Lanka need to sort themselves out. They need Kamindu Mendes to prove why he was in that ICC team of the year. So Joe Root leaves and the Par Royals lose a game. I'm not saying that there's a coincidence, but I'm just saying, okay, you bring in someone that's not Joe Root and all of a sudden you've lost. He was probably holding the team together. This game was basically rolling back the years for a few players that we thought were finished. So Herman scores 28, Pretorius 19, but it was Dinesh Karthik, who I think is about 90 now, more commentary than actual cricket at this point of his career. He finishes 53 off 39. I mean, he's been shown as a finisher. He hits like 3 sixes in a row. The man that gets him out, Imran Tahir, probably 95 now, will still do a Sue. He finishes 4 overs, 1 for 19. Donovan Ferreira, 3 for 23. Sip Amla, who is becoming a real talent. Last few games that I've seen him play, he's been sensational. 3 for 19. And then when it came to Joe Berg's chase, Faf du Plessis, who might be 100 now, even older than Dinesh Karthik and Imran. I don't actually know if he is older. They're all about the same age. Faf puts on 87 off 55 to see Joe Berg home. 151 for 3. They chase down the target with 2.1 overs left. I mean, 1 wicket split between Majib, Dujan and Ngidi in the end. Paro's had to lose a game eventually. They've been on a sensational run, but it does make that kind of... It's very interesting, that 3, 4 and 5 spot still can be all 3 teams that can make it. So the Ranji Trophy is on at the moment, and I don't usually make videos on it, but Virat Kohli is playing for Delhi at the moment, and because Scott Boland took a lot of wickets and now they have to play first-class cricket, don't really know what happened there, but this is basically what's happened. And for a time, there is no one at Ranji Trophy games. There might be the odd man and his dog that turns up. Well, it was full today in Delhi. It really was. There were so many people there. I mean, the stadium was full. There was people running onto the pitch to try and kiss Virat Kohli's feet. I mean, would I run on to Kent's ground to kiss Darren Steve? Yeah, no, I would do that. I would definitely run on to the pitch. If it was Ryan Higgins, I'd do something else. But that's not the point. I mean, there were so many people there just to worship this cricketer, and it's such a difference of cultures than it is from what I'm used to. England, Australia, South Africa. I mean, that South Asian audience, especially India, that there is such a kind of love of one player and they don't actually care what team they're playing for. It does make me think of what's going to happen to the IPL when you lose the Virats, the Dhonis, the Rohits, the players like that people have followed. Are they going to stick with the franchises, or are they going to go to their next favourite player? Is it going to be whoever Pant plays for, whoever Jaiswal plays for, whoever Bumrah plays for? It's a very weird way to watch cricket. You see it a little bit in the younger audience of the NBA, is that they'll be, okay, I'm a LeBron fan, I'm a Steph Curry fan, I am a Jason Tatum fan. I'm going to follow them wherever they go in their career, and then that's who I'm going to support. A little bit like Messi and Ronaldo as well. That does happen a little bit, that they'll be fans of players. I cannot comprehend it in my head. I have a team that I support, and that's my team. I cannot go anywhere else. I have to support that team. No matter if all my favourite players there... Like, I'm a Rajasthan Royals fan in the IPL. Josh Butler doesn't play for him. Josh Butler's one of my favourite T20 players. Am I going to stop supporting Rajasthan? No. But I guess that I started supporting Rajasthan because Shane Warne played for them and he was my favourite player. But I kept the team. I didn't follow the player. So I just cannot get my head around the absolute worship of players in India. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just I can't compute it. 100 has been sold, or some of it, or Surrey's been sold, or the Oval Invincible have been sold. All the Curran brothers have been sold. I don't know what's necessarily happened, but Mumbai Indians owners win 49% stake in the Oval Invincibles. The Oval Invincibles franchise was worth 123 million. They bought 49%, so they were going to pay just over 60 million pound for the Oval Invincibles. Surrey have come out and said that they're going to keep the other 51% because let's be honest, it's Surrey. They've got so much money. I mean, I think Rory Burns actually sleeps on a bed of money if he has to stay at the Oval for anything. So that's fine. They can buy as many players as they want, and they now have more money and are now invested by the richest family in India. So that can only be good for the English game. There is the other teams that are going to be sold from kind of today, tomorrow, and then kind of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think the rest of the bids are going to come out. Interesting that they announced the Oval Invincibles first. I know that the MI owners were going to be interested in the London Spirit. I'd imagine that the London Spirit is now going to be bought by that kind of the Google and Microsoft CEO kind of conglomerate thing that they made. They have a big stake in the MLC, if I'm right. So it's interesting. I think we're still waiting for the London. I thought the London Spirit one was going to be today, and then I think we'll have the Manchester. They were the three that were going to go for the biggest money. So the two London teams and the Manchester team were the ones that were going to go for the most money. So London Spirit should come out probably tomorrow morning, and then the other teams will start rolling in Thursday, Friday, and then Monday and Tuesday next week. It's interesting. I don't know how I feel about it. Are they going to change the names? Are they MI Invincibles? Are they MI London? Are they MI Oval? I don't know. Am I Surrey? Am I Rory Burns? I just don't know what's going to happen, but I'm excited to see it. You probably won't see a change this year, but I reckon you probably will do next year. Are Surrey going to play in like the royal blue? I don't know.